as the world holds its collective breath to see if a temporary pause in fighting comes to be between Israel and Hamas that was supposed to be tomorrow morning, and now we're hoping for Friday, and that hostages will also be released. In a brokered deal, Israel had previously agreed to release 150 Palestinian women and teenagers from Israeli prisons in exchange for 50 hostages Hamas kidnapped on October 7th. All of those hostages are expected to be women and children as well. And one of those kids could be a little girl named Abigail. She is 3 years old, and her parents were murdered by Hamas in the attack on October 7th.
Abigail's 4th birthday is on Friday, and no child should spend their birthday as a hostage somewhere in the dark. And so we don't have any confirmation, but it is our hope and it is our belief that she will be one of the first hostages to come out.
That hope is shared by hundreds of families on both sides of this, hoping it's their loved one who comes out of the dark in the coming days. And that hope also extends all the way here to Minnesota, where Kent spoke to faith leaders in our communities that are serving people impacted by this war in very different ways, but who are also determined to find that common ground. Kent?
Yeah, Jana, I spoke to Rabbi Marsha Zimmerman at Temple Israel and Saifullah Muhammad, resident scholar at the Northwest Islamic Community Center. They both have spent years on interfaith efforts that bring Jews, Muslims, and Christians together, but admit that the war has taken a devastating toll on their communities in different and often polarizing ways. Today, they both told me they are cautiously hopeful.
So we've been wearing these blue ribbons to support the families and to ask for the hostages to be released. So this is one step forward. No one did anything to be kidnapped and to be taken. It was an act of terror, and now we need them to be released.
We've been calling for the release of hostages. We mourn the loss of every single life that is taken. I'm really hoping and praying that, we could all come together as humanity to pray that, this is a first step in many more pauses, and hopefully that leads to a longer lasting peace.
So October 7th has changed sort of the psyche of the Jewish community in Israel and also in Minnesota, feeling vulnerable of the rise of anti-Semitism, the rise of all hatred, Islamophobia.
I have been receiving calls 2 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning, dealing with people who are having anxiety attacks, mental breakdowns.
They say it's not PTSD, it's TSD. It's trauma today, right now. It's not post, it's trauma in reality. So we have a cousin who is 12 years old, and he can't go to school because all of his classmates have been murdered. Some of them have been kidnapped.
I had personal people that have contacted me. 50% of their friends and family members and loved ones are just completely missing. They have no contact. They don't know where they are.
We also have this hope. We always hope for peace. We don't want any innocent Palestinians or Israelis to get caught in the crossfire. We always have to hold on to that, and it's so difficult to. And I understand why people are not ready to pray for peace. I understand that. But as a rabbi, I have to hold the hope. I have to hold something better.
I've been very, very open with my community. I know it's being played as this is a Muslim versus Jewish war, but it's really not religious to me. I think it's all politics. I love my Muslim, my Christian and Jewish brothers and sisters, and I hope that we can continue to work.
We have affirmed none of us are leaving the table, because I believe interfaith dialogue is the antidote to religious violence. I truly believe that. And if I believe that, then we have to actually do more of that work.
And speaking of that work, tomorrow morning, Rabbi Zimmerman will stand alongside the leader of the Islamic Community Center of Minnesota and help lead an annual Thanksgiving Day interfaith service at Plymouth Congregational Church in Minneapolis. It will feature readings and reflections from Jewish, Islamic, Christian, and indigenous traditions, and it will no doubt feature prayers, Jana, for this deal to hold.